12 stages of the hero's journey. And today is going to be stage 4. That's it, count them 4. I've already covered 3 stages and now we're going into the 4th one. So if you want to follow along for the series and come along for the ride, that would be awesome. So stage 4 is meeting the mentor. So in stage 4, along the way, your protagonist and your screenplay, your story may need a mentor. The hero encounters a mentor that can give them advice, wisdom, information, or items that ready them for the journey ahead. I'm going to offer 3 things a mentor character can do for your protagonist and for your screenplay. Number 1, create an emotional, empathetic bond between characters. The best stories have heart, and that applies to any genre. And for a story to have heart, the writer needs to create empathy for the characters. When you introduce a mentor character, even in stories that don't necessarily follow every stage of Campbell's or Vogler's hero's journey, you're creating a relatable bond that readers and audiences can attach to on an emotional level. People instantly relate to the bond of a parent and child or teacher and student, and often those 2 types of relationships end up being one and the same within so many stories. In Star Wars, Ben Kenobi teaches Luke in the ways of the Force, but he's also a father figure. Luke never knew his father. While he had his Uncle Owen, Ben Kenobi represents a connection to Luke's real father, which manifests as a direct father and son relationship. In The Karate Kid, Daniel is the son of a single mother. We don't know what happened to Daniel's father, but we do know that he doesn't have one. Mr. Miyagi teaches him karate, but he also offers Daniel fatherly advice, helping Daniel get through challenging situations in his life that his mother can't quite relate with. In Rocky, Rocky's parents are dead. He has no one, no family. His life as a fighter hasn't worked out. He's a club fighter by night, getting paid next to nothing. By day, he's the muscle of a loan shark. There's been no one to guide Rocky away from the bad path he has taken, except for Mickey. Mickey, like any father, calls Rocky out on his bad choices. He points out Rocky's faults. He does this as a teacher of boxing, with Rocky as his student, but there's a strong father-son bond that develops between them as well. In $1 Million Baby, Maggie is looking for someone to train her. Frank begrudgingly takes her on as a student. Their relationship develops. Maggie doesn't have a strong fatherly figure in her life, but it's Frank that is taking on a parental bond with Maggie, substituting for his estranged daughter. A mentor character offers the reader and audience something to relate with in terms of emotional connection to the reader, story, and characters. Number 2, guide the protagonist through the central conflict. When the protagonist is first introduced within their ordinary world, what I covered in stage 1, they are in a place of comfort or complacency. The best stories then take that character out of their comfort zone by throwing them into the metaphorical fire of an extreme conflict that rocks their world. For some stories, this is an adventure that they are called to take on. For other genres, it's an emotional journey that they will be forced to deal with. Mentors help them deal with their insecurities and weaknesses. They give confidence, knowledge, and direction. They build up the protagonist's hope and offer wisdom for them to reflect on as they deal with any inner and outer conflict. And sometimes they offer physical, supernatural, or metaphorical items that can help the protagonist succeed. And sometimes the mentor isn't a character at all. In Close Encounters of the Third Kind, the mentor present within the hero's journey interpretation of that story is the information embedded within Roy's mind by the UFO he encountered, constantly pulling him to a location that he's never been to through the image of a simple but mysterious shape that he sees. Whether the mentor is a real person or something else, They also offer you the ability to use story elements to enhance the second act of your story. A protagonist taking on a conflict without any outside help can be engaging, but the second act can often falter. When you have a mentor in the mix, the second act has more meat to it with this relationship between the protagonist and mentor, whether it's the preparation that the mentor takes the protagonist through or the conflict between the two as they do, preferably both. Number 3, help you introduce story elements, themes, and exposition within the screenplay. In Star Wars, we don't learn anything about the Force until Ben Kenobi shows up, nor do we learn about Luke's father and the history of Darth Vader. In The Karate Kid, we don't learn anything about karate or the philosophical angles of it that can help Daniel through his journey until Mr. Miyagi shows up. In The Lord of the Rings, we don't learn anything about what can be done about the One Ring until Gandalf appears and explains things. Mentors are an easy way for you, the writer, to offer information not only to the protagonist, but to the reader and audience as well. They can be present throughout the whole story, or they can appear briefly within the first and beginning of the second act. They can be physical items like maps or diaries, or they can be supernatural intuition or scientific evidence that helps guide the protagonist to where they need to go. They can also come in multiple forms within the story. In The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy has multiple mentors throughout her adventure: Professor Marvel, Glinda the Good Witch, Scarecrow, Tin Man, the Cowardly Lion, and the Wizard. They all have a hand in helping her, and they all also have a hand in introducing the themes of the story. Meeting the mentor offers the protagonist someone that can guide them through their journey with wisdom, support, and even physical items. Beyond that, they help you to offer empathetic relationships within your story, as well as ways to introduce themes, story elements, and exposition to the reader and audience. Stage 5, Crossing the Threshold. That's for next time. This has only been on Stage 4. Stage 4 of Joseph Campbell's Monomyths, where we also have it adapted to Vogler and Hollywood, screenplay, fiction, or anything of that sort. If you need some assistance with this or anything related to your writing, get in touch. I can help you. That's Mick, as in Jagger, except he makes more money. mick.smith at wsiworld.com, or connect with me through live stream, restream, any of the other socials, because I can help you with your coaching you through, get that story out there. Once again, this has been Dr. Digital. Until next time, may you small.